I'm Josh here back to a new Amazing World of Gumball review. And if you missed the last one, go and check it out. And we're back with the next 3 episodes of Season 4. Now, the reason why we're doing 3 in this one is because the next 2 episodes are actually Part 1 and Part 2. Is actually a 2-parter, but they're separately. So I wanted to do those 2-parters. Those are the next ones by themselves. So, yeah, that's why this review is reviewing the next 3. But yeah, the first one, this one right here, it's another good one, but it's very awkward as well. Like, very awkward. Literally. A lot of awkward moments in this one. And it starts with Gumball and Darwin just eating, and Darwin is able to say a very thing that Gumball was going to say, because, you know, he's used to it. And Gumball just spanking his butt, and trying to slap him, and he's just blocking all the attacks. And then he hugs this random hot dog guy, and saying, "What's up? Hey, bro." And that face, though. That face that he gives Darwin. The next day, we see that, yeah, an awkward moment where they're coming back together and, yeah, they're just doing these weird smiles like, The next day, or the day after, we see them awkwardly doing it again. Yeah, just hugging. Every time they see each other, every time Gumball sees this guy, he just hugs him. And then outside as well, and then 5 minutes later, in the bathroom. And we even see Tobias just very trying to get out of the bathroom and with a awkward face on him. Again, very awkwardly, though, I can say, this one is. And yeah, they come across each other in the hall, and they try to run and go into the janitor's closet, which, yeah, they see each other again and have to give each other a hug. And again, just very awkward. Like I said, very awkwardly, this one is. And yeah, Gumball waiting in line and forgot to pay, which, yeah, the hot dog guy pays for it. And Gumball is just sticking his head in the seat and talking with his butt, which that's kind of impressive, though. And yeah, Gumball is on his own, because he even invited that hot dog guy for a sleepover. Which, yeah, NIEs and Darwin ditch him. They're saying that he's got to do this alone. Which, yeah, it gets even more awkward, though. Because when Gumball can't tell if he's asleep, and then he goes on top of him, and yeah, that's all I'll say. He goes on top of a hot dog at that pose. Little adult humor there that they showed there. And then the next day, we see Gumball is just not getting any sleep. He's probably never going to be able to sleep again. And yeah, he has to confront this guy and tell him that he doesn't like him. And yeah, he just ditches Gumball's hug. And then he tries to do these different things like turn the water cold into sour. And then the hot dog guy making Gumball jump off and when trying to dive and go out of the school. And even Gumball gives the hot dog guy a hot dog. Yeah, gives him a hot dog. A hot dog guy eating a hot dog. And Gumball getting snake bites. And everything seems to be going under their way. Because they do finally explain and work things out. But Gumball then tells them to do one last favor. And that's to just awkwardly hug Darwin. And Gumball is like, "See? You didn't see that coming, did you?" Again, this one was definitely an awkward one, but very funny as well. And then we go to the next one, which this makes me just say how horrible Mrs. Robinson is. This episode, I mean, yeah, it's another good one, but Lord, this shows how horrible Mrs. Robinson is, and how, why did, or I can kind of tell, but I kind of cannot tell why Mr. Robinson married this girl, though. And yeah, she seems happy out in the park and feeding squirrels, and Darwin and Gumball help. And yeah, they're starting to get attacked because they're actually coffee beans. Yeah, they're feeding coffee beans to squirrels, and it's causing the squirrels to go crazy, and we see it attacking everybody. And the officer is wondering who's responsible for this. And Mrs. Robinson ditches and says that it was Gumball and Darwin that did it, and they're having to do community service. Gumball can clearly sense some evil in her, and she tries to literally run over Gumball and Darwin. Yeah, she tries to run over them. Like, that is pure evil, though. She is trying to murder them. And, yeah, we just see her doing all these different things. Like, just shows how evil she is, though. Like, she is just absolutely evil. Even changing the speed limit, even knocking ice cream out of Billy's hands, even throwing the keys in the car with the old man after he dropped it, even pushing the car. Like, okay, you know kind of how I said that, you know how I kind of said this was a good episode? You know how I said that? Now that I think about it, I don't know why I think this is a good episode. I can't. And yeah, this is really the first one of the series that I would say, though. I mean, this is just evil, though, that Mrs. Robinson did. I don't really know what to say about this one, though. Except that it's not a good one, for sure. Because it's just absolute evil that it shows here. Yeah, giving second thoughts here, moving forward. And then she gets told to go to the hospital and looks at this little baby, which, yeah, she changes the names of this family, of the babies, and squirting the hand stuff onto the floor, causing one of the doctors to slip. And then Gumball and Darwin go to Mr. Robinson and asking if they can clean. Which, yeah, they find Mrs. Robinson's diary, and yeah, it's somewhat we can't understand. And then we see these pictures and photo album, and she's even evil back then. Like, we see all these different things that she does. Even, I mean, there's a one where she looks like is innocent, but no, goes back to being evil again. And, yeah, Mr. Robinson is saying nobody knows the mysteries behind Mrs. Robinson. And, yeah, and then she knocks over Tobias's dad while he's on a bike. And then Darwin is trying to pretend like he's choking for Mrs. Robinson to save him. And then, yeah, she eats the chocolate that has a toy car in it and throws it in Darwin's mouth, and he's literally choking. And they're trying to get Mrs. Robinson to help, but she has this evil look on her face while she just closes the door. And Darwin could have died by choking. And yeah, Darwin then realizes that there is absolute no good inside of Mrs. Robinson. That she is just pure evil, and he wants to get revenge. And yeah, they leave the keys at their car, and before she can get to the car, they're going to take a picture to get the evidence to the police. But yeah, she sees the car and the keys, and she just grabs a bandana and just takes the car with her. And she drives all over in the mall with it as well, and ends up crashing and pretty much gets Gumball and Darwin in trouble by the police. And again, she once again just drives by them with an evil, smug look on her face. And then, this is what she deserves. I'm sorry, but she deserves this. She ends up crashing into these different things, and then ending up in an explosion, going into the sky, and then falling down, and then getting parked on an ambulance. Like, I'm sorry, but she deserves it, because she is, again, there is no good inside of Mrs. Robinson. This episode proves it. But yeah, we go to the next episode, and it is a good one. This one is a good episode. And it starts with Gumball getting ready for... of what it looks like for Penny. Like, Penny's coming over. Of what it looks like. Because he's making these sandwiches and has this creepy, like, look on his face. But no, apparently it's not for Penny. It's for Alan. Because Gumball is wanting to apologize, be sorry for what he did to Alan. And he's saying that he can't come over because his mom is sick. And then we see that it seems like everything is fine. And having this picture of Gumball as well in the background and at Joyful Burger. And he thinks that he is trying to, making an excuse just to get out of doing this party. Or this dinner. And yeah, they go to Joyful Burger and try to ask Larry where they are. And then they see a clue that Gumball thinks. And they have this plan that they have in the movie theater, which they think they see Alan, but no, it's Billy. They grab Billy and even to go out with the plan and get the security to get involved. So now they're going to the park and they find this breadcrumb. And then Darwin tries to speak to these birds, but of course he can't communicate with birds. And Gumball just chases after Alan, which he is running so fast that he causes everybody to explode when he runs by them. And yeah, doesn't make it to the elevator, but he goes up the stairs, and we see that the reason why Alan couldn't make it is because his mom is having surgery, this kind of surgery that balloons have. And they're trying to dig their way because of trying to cry. But then they perform the operation. Oh no. Yeah, they put Alan to sleep, and oh yeah, no. This could not end well. I'm sorry. This could not end well. Leave Darwin and Gumball to do an operation, a surgery. No. It's like saying SpongeBob to do a surgery. Oh wait, he did a surgery. SpongeBob did do a surgery. Remember Squidward's nose job? SpongeBob did Squidward's nose job. And remember how that turned out? Yeah. And it's like getting Patrick to be a doctor to get a splinter out. Yeah, this cannot end well at all. Leaving Gumball and Darwin to do. And they're not even doctors either. And you can't impersonate doctors or anything. That's illegal. And yeah, they see this book of different things. And they try to find Alan, or for the balloons. And they see, and yeah, they're having to put their hand in there and grab it. But there's literally nothing in there because it's just air. But maybe that's the organs and balloons. And yeah, Alan is starting to deflate. And this face that Alan makes, though. Yeah, that face cracked me up. Like, for real, though. And then they get it out, and it seems like they're continuing the surgery. But no, making Darwin a sandwich. And yeah, the operation's finished, and yeah, Alan's mom is talking out of her rear end. And Alan is, of course, wondering about this. Was Darwin, or Gumball is just complaining now to Alan. But yeah, quite interesting episodes on this review, though, I can just say. An awkward one, a one that I thought would be good, but turned out to be, because, like with Mrs. Robinson. And then another funny one, though, I enjoyed. But yeah, this would actually technically be, the one with Mrs. Robinson showing how evil she is, and all the, it's probably the first episode of Gumball that I dislike. Yeah, the first episode of this series. That is my least favorite. Which I'm surprised because, again, we're in season 4. And it took all the way to this long, though. But still, though, I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments below. And again, I can't wait to see the how things continue, though, because again, I'm loving this series, and I'm excited to, especially, I can't wait to see what that cliffhanger everybody's talking about, on the last episode of the show, before the revival, because Gumball is getting a revival. It is getting a fifth season, or a seventh season, but, to, I'm curious to see what people thought of the original ending of the show before the revival. That cliffhanger people were talking about at the end of season 6. But we will get there, though. We will get there eventually. So yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Catch y'all next one.